What's happening, guys? Feast your eyes on this classic Suzuki Volusia, named after the Daytona Beach area, Volusia County. It was introduced in Daytona at Bike Week. When this thing rolled off the truck, I was like, wow, this thing's absolutely beautiful. It has a full Corbin matching seat, backrest, saddlebag, and tank pad. Billy went online and checked out this seat. It's a $900 seat with the backrest on it. It's a very expensive high-end seat, and it's worth every penny. It's super comfortable. The fit and finish on this bike is absolutely perfect. It's like a brand new motorcycle. It looks, my dad used to say, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it might be a duck. This thing looks and runs and rides like a brand new bike. It essentially is in pristine, mint mechanical and cosmetic condition. It's a great bike. Big giant headlight on the front, 49 Hydroglide replica front end, gloss black, slathered with chrome, covered with cool accessories like the chrome grips, the saddle, the bags. It's got a nice set of mufflers on there, gives it a little rumble. Dual exhaust.
Yes, that's a stock system. Let's do a drive-by and we'll bring it in and tell you all about it.
Rumble on this thing. Clutch, brake, tires, everything on this thing work like a brand new motorcycle. The fuel injection is spot on from idle up to red line. It revs super clean. One of the best Japanese cruisers. I swung a leg over recently for sure.
Yeah, the fuel map is definitely dialed in, especially considering the intake and exhaust is left unmodified.
Guys, I think the bike speaks for itself. I have a few things I'll say about it too. It is absolutely stunning machine. Very little vibration, even though it's a V-twin. I'm pretty sure this is a counterbalanced 800cc engine. It is liquid cooled, so it gives you the traditional look, but a much more modern feel with the fuel injection and the liquid cooling. Paint job, the chrome, the fit and finish on it is an absolute 10. As I said earlier, the Mustang saddle is a very expensive high-end leather saddle with the backrest on it, the conchos, and it has the matching saddlebags and centerpiece. Billy priced this out at, I think you said it was $900, right, Billy? $900. We've done a whole bunch of work on the bike. I'll get into that in a second, but I'll tell you a little bit about the guy who owned it.
Okay, go.
Robert Anderson actually was the owner of this bike. He passed away at, I think he was 78 years old when he passed away. And he was a Vietnam veteran and father, and his son wrote a little bit about him because the bike was donated on his behalf to the New England Motorcycle Museum. So a little bit more about my dad's life. He was an amazing person, a great father, and he would love to know this bike will be used to help keep the passion and spirit of motorcycling alive for future generations, from Jeff Anderson. So thank you, Jeff and Robert, for the generous donation here.
The proceeds of the sale, all of the proceeds being a donation to the museum, will go to museum continuation funds.
So if you have a bike in your family that you want to find a forever home for, we do offer a program where we put them in the museum and sign an agreement that they'll never be sold. We also, a bike like this, that we have others like this in the museum that can be sold to raise museum continuation funds. That's an option also, and you can get a full tax deductible donation from us on that. So Junior can tell you a little bit more of that if you want to call and ask. But back to this bike. Suzuki's 800cc Deluxe Cruiser, built for the American highways and byways, has a distinct custom look. It is an absolute head turner. Excellent comfort. The fit and finish is at 10. Fuel injected V-twin power, low maintenance shaft drive, handles great, performs great, smooth power delivery, low vibration. Fuel economy is superb, and today in this day of $6 a gallon, 50 miles per gallon sounds pretty damn good, and you look good doing it. Ultra reliable, highly refined machine. 5-speed overdrive transmission. When I got it in the 5th gear, it just idles way down, so you just it'll cruise on the highway 75, 85 all day long. 4-stroke V-twin fun machine, easy to ride, maneuverable, with a 27-inch seat height, very low to the ground. This bike is all stock and original except for the items that we pointed out, in under 11,000 original miles. The factory paint and chrome scheme is off the hook. A well cared for one-owner bike that was owned up until he passed away. This is his pride and joy, and you can tell by the way he took care of it. The bike has been given a complete preservation service here at the New England Motorcycle Museum. The staff went right through the bike, performed a 100-point inspection, removed the fuel tank, flushed the old fuel out and cleaned it inside and out, added fresh non-ethanol fuel to it, changed the engine oil with Bellray MC4 10W40 oil, put a new oil filter in it, the battery charged to 100%, tested the charging system perfectly. It has a new Dunlop D404 front tire. If you can zoom in, you can see that is factory fresh, right off the press. Less than 5 miles on it. Just installed it and mounted it and balanced it and cleaned the rim and greased the axle and bearings. The rear tire is also a brand new Dunlop D404 rear. If you can zoom in and show them, that's brand spanking new. The bike then went to the detail shop where it was steam cleaned, hand washed, degreased, polished, and waxed to perfection. The engine cases were polished, the exhaust, the wheels, the forks, all the chrome was gone through top to bottom. We buffed and polished the fuel tank. You can see it shines probably better than the day it came out of the shop, brand new. This bike runs, looks, and rides like new, and it's ready for years of enjoyable riding. Great opportunity to own a classic Boulevard C50 in showroom condition. This is absolutely a museum quality bike. Roll it into the museum, and she looks like she just rolled off the showroom floor. So the bike obviously has been given quite a bit of TLC here at the shop. The service department had 6.7 hours that Lance worked on it. The detail shop put 4 hours into it. A total of 10.7 hours labor plus parts. The grand total came to $1,463 of preservation service, love, blood, sweat, and tears put into it. And I had the pleasure of riding the bike a couple times since it's been here. And like I said, we're kind of jaded. We see a lot of bikes come through here. When this thing rolled off the truck, when Billy rolled it off the truck, I was like, wow, look at this thing. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at the size of the rear fender on this, Kenny. Can you zoom in on that? That's bigger than any Harley rear fender I've ever seen. It's freaking massive. It's got to be a 12-inch wide rear fender. But if you compare that to that 22 lowrider, which is one of the Harley's fattest rear fenders, it's bigger than that. Nice big chunky Dunlop tire, the chrome spoke wheels. The hardtail style of the rear end is superseded by the super soft shock underneath there, so it looks like a hardtail, but it rides like a cloud. There's one thing I would add to this bike. The only thing I would add to this bike would be a set of highway pegs, bolt-on highway pegs right here. So you have a place. I'm 6'2", so when your legs get a little tight after riding for a couple hours, and this is truly a bike. You fill up the tank. You drive to Lake Winnipesaukee, Laconia, ride around the lake and come home. This is a bike you can ride 6-8 hours in a day. The only thing I would want is a set of highway pegs. That's it. Everything else, every light switch button, everything works perfectly. Speaking of which, it's got a really cool setup on the switches here on the for the turn signals. You hit your turn signal. All you do is hit the button to shut it off. Horn works great. The gauges here has a old school style speedometer, but inside of it, it's got a new style digital clock and odometer and trip meter. has your engine temperature and your fuel gauge here. So just a beautiful piece, man. Good luck finding an ISO one. It's an absolute dime, and obviously was his last motorcycle he purchased and the last one that he rode, and he took beautiful care of it. So we're gonna find it a good home. Give us a call if you have any questions, 860-454-7024. Thanks for watching. God bless America.